Okay guys, first of all I apologise for the noise in the background. I am right next to a busy road, so I will try and keep my voice up if I can, if possible. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Nash baits. In front of me we have the slicker floaters and also the riser pellets. They are both in the pure crustacean flavour. I have used these products before and they were the strawberry flavours. This venue in Westbury is known to be quite prolific on the top of the carp, so I thought it was the perfect place to come over and do a review on it. Okay guys, so let's start with the riser pellets. I've brought them from my local tackle shop from where I work in Chippenham, called Premier Angling. Very good shop, always really helpful, so I do recommend them if you need to buy anything online, or of course if you're local to Chippenham you can go in and get helpful advice. And yeah, they're brilliant. So $7.99 was the price. They come in 1.6 kilogram bags, and so there's plenty of there to last you a couple of sessions if you're, if you're careful with them. The slicker floaters, they come in 1.4 kilos of weight. Just to mention as well, in both bags you do get free hookable floaters. But I would recommend buying the little pots which you can get off the shelf rather than the ones which are in the bag. I don't know why, but I found the ones which are in the bag tend to be harder and difficult to get on the actual hook itself. I'll just quickly show you the Nash hookable floaters as well, from the bag, and also what you get off the shelf in a pot. That's more or less what you get in the bag. So like I said, there is 1.4 kilos of those in there. Of course they all do float and they're brilliant after you've been putting the riser pellets in to get the fish feeding on bigger baits. In regards to the hookable floaters you get with them, they are more or less like little dog biscuits really, and that's what you get in the packet there. So there's not a lot of difference between them at all, except from obviously the hookable floaters are a little bit softer and they go on the hook easier. Now if you buy the crustacean flavour, they come obviously in a brownie colour. And if you buy the, I think they were strawberry flavour, which were the other option available, the floaters come in red. I can't find any of the red ones from the old packets I had. Maybe they all went in the lake, but I've got some off the shelf here, and they would look more like this. Alright. Now the ones I've just presented you with are not ones out of the bag. Like I said, the ones out of the bag, they look more like boilies, like little 10 millers, and they're really difficult to get on the hook without breaking. The ones that you've got there in front of you, these are the hookable floaters in strawberry oil, which you can get off the shelf. You have to ignore the packaging a bit. It's a bit battered and a bit old, but that's what they look like. And we've had a few fish off those, so they are good. Alright. So I would probably say they're probably about 12 mil. It doesn't say on the pot, to be honest, but yeah, they're between about 10 and 12 mil, and they all come in, they're all different varieties really, but yeah, they're very good to use along with the slicker floaters. So let's get on to the riser pellets and I'll show you them as well. So guys, yeah, these are the riser pellets. As you can see, you've got some bigger pellets in there. I am zoomed in on my camera, so they probably do look bigger than they actually are. They're quite small. They all float, and then in amongst them you've got little brown pellets as well, and they go through the water levels and they sink, and it helps attract the carp up through the layers. The good thing about the floating ones is they obviously, if you get on the back of a wind, you can put them out, you can fling them out with a catapult, and then they drift down. So any carp which are in the distance, obviously you can help attract up to your swim, or of course it helps you identify where they are and you can go to them if you prefer. So yeah, they definitely do help, especially the ones going through the water levels as well. It does let carp know, which are obviously not on the surface, that there is food and grab about, which is good. So let's get some out on the surface, and we'll see how long it takes to get some carp out, or feeding shall I say. It's now 2:25, so let's see how we go. Before I do actually guys, I'll just quickly give you an indication of how small they are. They're tiny, look. As you can see, I've put them in the palm of my hand. That's the floaters. That's the riser pellet floating ones. And if I grab a couple of these little ones here, if the camera will pick them up, that's the ones which sink through the water layers. So let's get them out and have a look, see what happens. Okay guys, just a quick introduction to the swim. It's very noisy, it's right next to a busy main road. It's not very big at all, quite limited on space. I will literally be fishing straight off this pallet here to those bushes where those ducks are. Of course, I'm going to wait for them to disappear just so I can get some floaters on the surface without them attacking them and eating them. Strictly speaking, using these riser pellets and the slicker floaters, I would probably imagine I should be over there on that peg, on that pallet, and then I should be catapulting them across and then letting them drift as well down into this corner. That probably would benefit me more, because any carp which are in that area up there would obviously start feeding on those and it would drag them down. But I'm not. I'm gonna stay here and just see how it goes. If it fails, then of course I will go up there and flick some baits out to help get me a result. The reason I'm in this swim as well is yesterday I come down after my last water load of carp session, and I wanted a confidence boost. I just wanted to bend in the rod. While I was still on this pallet, just feeding in some cat biscuits, my target fish come up literally a foot away from me from last year. And so yeah, I'm glad to have seen him down here. It was about this time of day. So I'm here today to see if I can have him. If I can, then of course any other carp in this lake would be a bonus. Alright guys, so on the hook, which is a size 10 quarter mixer, I've got 2 hookable floaters which has come out of the Slacker floater bag. I was in the riser pellet bag and there were no free offerings, and that's the second bag of those I've had when it does clearly show on the bag that you should get free offerings. So that's a bit disappointing, but I suppose they are only little freebies. You can use other things, so that's fine. But yeah, now let's get the area baited up. Now all the wildlife has disappeared on me, all the ducks and the geese, and then hopefully we can put these in the water and have a carp out. And just to back up what I was saying, includes 3 sucker floater hook baits. They're not in there. Second bag, and they've not been in there. Just a couple of small handfuls would do it. So let's see what happens. This is the one problem you have when you're trying to do surface fishing and you're using floaters. You get pestered by little buggers like that who are hiding around the corner waiting to take them. I think I'm going to have to start bringing a big loaf of bread with me just to get rid of them next time. Alright guys, so a little bit of an update for you. It's now 3:30, so it's taken me about an hour to get rid of the ducks and the birds and the geese. They've all had their bread. I went and got some, so they're happy. They've left me alone. As you can see, they're all over there now, so they're all happy. So hopefully they'll leave me alone to do a bit of fishing now. Whilst I was throwing the bread in over the spot, now I would always say if you're going to feed up the ducks and the geese which are on your lake, always feed them upon the spot that you're trying to fish, because any of the bread which sinks and goes to the bottom, of course it attracts all the fish as well. So once they've had enough, they bugger off and they'll leave you alone, and you've got all that excess bread which has gone down to the bottom for the fish to feed on. So yeah, it does have its advantages, although it is a bit of a pain in the ass as well. But yeah, like I said, as they were munching on the bread, a couple of carp did come up down in the bottom corner just in front of the boating hut. So fingers crossed. Now the ducks have gone, I'll keep putting some riser pellet in and I'll be able to get them up on the surface. Alright guys, I'm back. I've managed to find the carp. They are literally right in the corner there by the boating hut. So I've come through the bushes a little bit and just got a little bit closer to them. But unfortunately, as soon as I've started putting floaters on the surface, I've been attacked by another lot of ducks, a different bunch of them. So I'm not having much luck today. So I'll keep persisting and keep trying, but I might end up feeding more to the ducks than I am to the fish, the way it's going at the moment. I suppose that's the way it is sometimes in fishing. You win some and you lose some. Today it looks like I'm losing so far. Oh, I say that. Look. Mr. Carp straight away. Alright guys, let me just put this down and see if I can have him back. Okay, so as you can see, I've just moved spots after being quite unsuccessful down the other end. That carp come up once and showed himself with a bit of bread, but he did go back down and never come back up again, and I didn't see anything else either. I have had a quick walk around the lake, and normally they're sunning themselves, but I haven't seen them today, which is a bit concerning. But I've moved right up the top now, so I'm going to put some bread out and some biscuits up, and see if I can get them up on the top of this side of the lake. Let's see what happens. So what I'm going to do, guys, is put some riser pellets on the top now, and hopefully we can entice them. We're also going to put a few slicker pellets on there as well. When the ducks disappear. Alright guys, so I'm back. Oh, it's not been my day today. Everything which has gone wrong could have gone wrong, I reckon. But apart from the ducks pestering me all day, getting my ear cut and bleeding everywhere, tripping over things, and worst of all, not being able to find a fish on what is relatively an easy lake, and I hope I'm not just jinxed it, but I found some fish which are willing to feed on the riser pellets, and they're actually coming up for them, so that's a result. So I better keep putting them in, because I had 3 or 4 of them feeding then, so fingers crossed things start improving from here. There's one having a munch down there, it's just breaking the surface. So I'm going to keep throwing them in and try and get them feeding a bit more confidently, and try and draw some more carp in as well. And then I'm going to wet a line with a bit of bread on and see if I can have one out. Look at that rat, look at it, look, 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 look. Rolling rat. Anyway, let's have these carp out, shall we? There you go, look, they're feeding now. Wicked, let's better get them, keep going. Hopefully I can have one soon. Put some more risers out. Oh, there's lots of them down there. Guys, I have got so many carp here. And look, this boat is coming all the way over here. Bloody hell, they actually listened to me and they went when I whistled at them and told them to go. Oh, I didn't want them spoiling it. I've got quite a few carp now feeding down here. Let's get some bigger baits out there now. Let's get some slicker pellets out there. They're absolutely gorging on those risers. So guys, I think it's pretty safe to say that they do like the riser pellet, but you've got to locate the fish first. But yeah, they were loving that then, and also the slacker floaters as well. Right guys, I'm going to try and wet a line and get one out because they are feeling quite confidently now. So persistence has finally paid off. I've had this little common carp, and that was on the Nash hookable floaters. There's some marks on it, so it's probably been spawning. So let's not keep out the water any longer and let's put her straight back. Pucker. So guys, about another hour has passed, and I've been patient again and waited for the ducks to disappear and the fish to start feeding, but I think they've been there all the time. It's just they're waiting for the ducks to disappear. But I've had a nice little mirror now, a little bit bigger than the last common I had. So yeah, lovely, just as it's starting to get dark. So let's put it back.